I never thought a single hallway in a hospital could feel like a battlefield. But that night, every step I took felt heavier than the last. My name is Daniel. I'm 34. I'd been away for 6 days on a work trip to Chicago. Nothing dramatic, just meetings, hotel rooms, and nighttime video calls with my wife Emily, who was 9 months pregnant with our first child. We'd been married 4 years. Not a perfect marriage, but a steady one. A safe one. Every night she'd rub her belly and laugh. Just make it home before he decides to come out. And I promised her I would. I always keep my word. The whole flight home I kept imagining the moment, holding her hand, hearing our son's first cry, finally feeling like life had aligned. I just didn't expect everything to fall apart before I even reached the delivery room. It was close to midnight when I rushed through the sliding doors of Riverside Medical. The air smelled sharp and sterile. The lobby was quiet, my suitcase wheels echoing across the tile. A nurse at the counter looked up. "Hi, can I help you?" My wife, Emily Parker. She was brought in earlier. Labor started. She checked her screen, then pointed down the hallway. Room 312. She's in active labor. You're just in time. Just in time. Those words would haunt me. I hurried down the hall, heart pounding, palms sweating. Her last text, just 3 hours earlier, kept replaying in my head. Hurry home. I really need you. No fear. Just trust. I pushed open the door to room 312, already smiling, ready to apologize for being late, ready to kiss her forehead. And then I froze. There were 3 people in the room. Emily, exhausted and sweating, breathing in painful bursts. A doctor beside her adjusting a monitor. And a man I had never seen in my life. Holding her hand. He stood beside her like he belonged there. Tall, broad-shouldered, late 30s. His hand wrapped around hers like she was the center of his world. For a moment no one noticed me. I stood there gripping my suitcase so tightly my fingers went numb. Then Emily looked up. Her eyes widened. Not with joy. Not with relief. But with something terrifyingly close to fear. "Daniel," she whispered. The man turned too, confusion sweeping across his face, but he didn't let go of her hand. "Who are you?" he asked. I blinked. "Who am I?" "I'm her husband." "Who the hell are you?" The room shifted. Emily's breath hitched. The doctor awkwardly stepped aside. The man finally released her hand, but his posture stayed protective, defensive, as if I was the one intruding. "I'm Mark," he said quietly. "Emily's friend." Friend. The word tasted like poison. I looked at Emily, waiting for her to explain. Anything that made sense. She couldn't even meet my eyes. "Daniel," she whispered. "Please just calm down." Calm down. My voice cracked. "I've been gone 6 days, and I walk in to find another man holding your hand while you're giving birth. Tell me what is happening." The doctor stepped forward. Maybe we should give them some privacy. But Mark didn't move. He looked at me with a strange, unsettling certainty, like he had every right to be there. And then he said something that made the entire room tilt sideways. "I'm here," he said softly, "because I'm the baby's father." The words didn't hit me like a punch. They sank in slowly, like poison sliding into the bloodstream before the pain begins. I stared at him, then at Emily. For a moment I genuinely thought I misheard. What did you just say?" He didn't blink. "I'm the father." The world narrowed. The beeping monitor suddenly sounded too loud. The lights too bright. My heartbeat too heavy. I turned to Emily. "Tell me he's lying." Her lips trembled. Her eyes filled. And that was my answer. "Daniel," she whispered. "I'm so sorry." My suitcase toppled over with a loud crack against the tile. The doctor tried to intervene again, but I barely heard him. "When?" I asked. "When did this happen? We've been trying for a baby for over a year. You told me you wanted this with me." "I did," she sobbed. "I didn't plan any of this. It was one mistake months ago. Then I got pregnant and I didn't know what to do. I was going to tell you, but—" "So you lied," I whispered. "For 9 months." She nodded, tears streaming. Mark stepped forward slightly. "Look, man, I'm not here to argue. Emily wanted me here. I'm supposed to be here." That sentence cut deeper than all the others. Emily wanted him here. Not me. Not her husband. She reached out a shaking hand toward me. Daniel, please don't leave. Please. I looked at her hand but didn't take it. Why? I asked softly. Why would you want me here? To watch you give birth to another man's child. Her face crumpled. Because you matter to me. Because I didn't want to hurt you. Because I cut her off. Not loudly. Not angrily. I don't need more excuses. The doctor cleared his throat again. Sir. The delivery is progressing quickly. We need to know who's staying. I looked at Emily one last time. At the guilt in her eyes. The fear. The regret. Maybe even love. But none of it could rewrite the truth. The child wasn't mine. And the choice she made wasn't mine. But what I did next was. I exhaled slowly. I'm not staying. Her entire face broke. Daniel, please. Don't walk away. You made your choice months ago, I said quietly. I'm just realizing it now. Mark looked away. I lifted my suitcase. My hands weren't shaking anymore. I hope the baby is healthy, I said softly. Truly. And I hope you have a safe delivery. Daniel, she cried out. But there was nothing left to say. I opened the door and stepped into the hallway. The same hallway that felt like a battlefield just minutes before. Only now it felt cold and empty. Each step echoed behind me, steady and controlled, even as something inside me shattered. By the time I reached the lobby, my phone buzzed. A text from her sister, Olivia. Daniel, call me when you can. You deserve the truth about everything. Everything. Part of me wanted to ignore it. Another part, wounded, humiliated, exhausted, needed answers. But one thing was certain. My marriage hadn't ended tonight. It had ended months ago. Tonight, I just finally opened my eyes.